Hello, welcome back to the lesson on polygons. So in this lesson, we're talking about exterior angles of polygons. So take note, the sum of exterior angles of any regular polygon is 360 degrees. Okay, just before we continue with this lesson and solve questions, ensure you see the previous lesson, which is on interior angles of polygons. If you don't go through the last lesson, you might have some challenges or you might find some things confusing in this lesson. So ensure you see the previous lesson, then come back and continue with this one. So let's get started. Okay, from the previous lesson, we said that the sum of interior angles of any polygon has the formula n minus 2 brackets 180 degrees, where n is the number of sides of the polygon. So we've defined what polygons are, we've laid the basis and the foundation. So like I said, if you want to actually understand this more, a full understanding, ensure you see the previous lesson. So let's go ahead and solve some question. The first one says, what is the angle of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? So for a hexagon, from the last lesson, we discussed that a hexagon has 6 sides. So hexagon, let me just say hexa is equal to 6 sides. And this 6 side talks about n, the number of sides. Okay. And the question is saying, what is the angle of each exterior angle of a regular hexagon? Okay, so how do we work with the information we have at hand to give us an answer? So let's go through this together. Now the note here says the sum of exterior angle of any regular polygon is what? Is 360 degrees. Can that information help us? That is something you want to know. You understand? So let's go ahead and work with the number of sides and see what we can do. I can also put up a sketch here. So just watch. A hexagon has 6 sides. So let's draw that out. Okay, so I want to also introduce the exterior angles in this hexagon. I hope my sketch is going to be very helpful. So these are the exterior angles. Okay, so let me include the interior angles. Would have loved to do this with a different color, but it's still fine, provided you can understand. Okay, so remember a hexagon has 6 sides, so it simply means we should have 6 angles. So let's say all the interior angles are labeled A because it's a regular hexagon, so all the interior angles obviously are going to be the same size. So the exterior angles are labeled B. So I want you to count and see that we have 6 interior angles and 6 exterior angles. That makes sense, right? It simply means the diagram is correct. So let's go ahead and solve. So from the formula, we know that to find the interior angles of a regular hexagon, we say n minus 2 brackets 180 degrees. So let's go ahead. Hexagon has 6 sides. So substituting for 6, we have 6 minus 2 bracket 180. I can remove the degree sign, and then when I'm done, I can put it back. So 6 minus 2 gives us 4. So we'll have 4 and then 180. So 4 multiplied by 180 degrees, right? Okay. So we have our on-screen calculator. So 4 multiplied by 180 gives us 720. Okay, 720 degrees. So this is the sum of interior angles in this hexagon. Now for us to find each interior angle, so each interior angle, so let's say each interior angle is equal to 720 degrees divided by 6 divided by the number of sides. Obviously is going to give us for each interior angle. So let's do that. So 720 divided by 6 is 120. So we got 120 degrees. Okay, so like I said, let's look at this. But you know that every one of these are exactly the same because you have interior and exterior, so they add up. The sum of interior and exterior angles add up to 180 degrees. So they add up to 180 degrees. So it simply means that So I want to continue from here. Simply means that A plus B is equal to 180 degrees. Reason being because we have an interior angle and an exterior angle. Interior angle, exterior angle, and this is an angle on a straight line. So angle on a straight line sum up together to give you 180 degrees. But we know that A is the interior angle and B is the exterior angle. And what is 120? 120 is A because we say for each interior angle, so not as an entity, because it simply means that from here, A plus A plus A plus A plus A, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, plus A is equal to what? Is equal to 720 degrees. That is, we have 6 A's. So for one A, we have 120 degrees just for one A. So it simply means that 120 plus B is equal to 180. So from here, we can collect like terms to see that, or we can subtract 120 from both sides to see that 180 minus 120 gives us 60, which is 60 degrees. Now, since one of the B's is equal to 60 degrees, we have how many? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. So even if we don't count, you know that since we're working with hexagon talks about 6 sides, and so because there are 6 sides, we should have 6 interior angles and 6 exterior angles. So even if you don't count, so if one exterior angle is 60 degrees, it simply means that the 6 exterior angles is going to be 6 multiplied by 60 is equal to, so let's do that together. 6 multiplied by 60 is equal to 360 degrees. 360 degrees. Now, this makes sense. Reason being because we said that the sum of exterior angles of any regular polygon is what? Is 360 degrees. And as you can see, when we solved, we are able to get 360 degrees. So I want to do something. You can pause this video, go through this very example again. This example is not actually difficult or taxing. It's very simple, but I like it because it draws the information from the previous lesson, which is very necessary. If you've not gone through that previous lesson, go and check it out. And then it brings us forward to exterior angles, and you can see where both lessons intercept, and the whole idea is now making sense. So let's go ahead. Okay, the next question says the interior angle of a polygon is 4 times the exterior angle. Okay, how many sides does the polygon have, and what is the name of the polygon? So let's go ahead and solve. This is more like a word problem kind of, example, and let's go ahead and do this now. So we can say we have two things here, interior and exterior. So let's exterior angle. So let's exterior angle equal to x. So the question says the interior angle of a polygon is 4 times, take note of this, the exterior angle. So if exterior angle is x, it simply means that interior angle is 4x. So how did I derive this, or how did I come about this? It's simple. If the interior angle is 4 times the exterior angle, simply means that whatever the exterior angle is, which I gave x, you can give any variable of your choice, y or w. Now, it simply means that the interior angle is 4 times of that. Okay, I hope that makes sense. So from here, we know that usually in a regular polygon, you have the interior and exterior angle usually running on a straight line. So they add up together to give you 180. So it simply means that x plus 4x is equal to 180 degrees. Now, this might be very challenging, but I want you to take note of this. Oftentimes, like you saw we did previously, okay, let's say I have a triangle. Now, remember what we said in the previous lesson about triangle and how they are a polygon. If you don't go through the previous lesson, I know this concept or some of the things we talk about here might be challenging or confusing. Okay, so let's go. So this is a triangle. I am extending the exterior angles right now. So this is it. So this is interior angle 1, 2, and 3. And the exterior angles I have 1, 2, and 3. So if the interior angles happens to be y, and the exterior angles happens to be w, w, and w. So from any of the instance of your choice, you can see that y plus w is equal to 180 degrees because they are angles on a straight line. So coming back to this, I've been able to explain this. So x plus 4x can add up to give us 5x is equal to 180 degrees. So for us to make x stand alone, we divide both sides by 5. So 5x divided by 5 is equal to 180 divided by 5. So the 5's here cancel out and x is equal to 180 divided by 5. So I have an on-screen calculator. Let's do that. 180 divided by 5 is equal to 36. So we have 36 degrees. Now, 36 degrees is x. So, okay, therefore, so let me make things clear. Therefore, exterior angle, which is x, is equal to 36 degrees, and interior angle, which is 4x. So we have to multiply by 4. So 4 multiplied by 36 to give us the exterior angle. So I just want to clear everything. So this multiplied by 4 gives us 144. So 144 degrees. So we've solved for the interior and exterior angle. But let's check and know if this is what the question required us to solve for. So let's see. A says, how many sides does the polygon have? So how many sides does the polygon have? For us to know the number of sides this polygon have or has, remember this is not the polygon in question, this is more like an instance I used to explain. So for us to know the number of sides this polygon has, we'll have some information that is going to help us, right? Okay, so each exterior angle is giving us what? 360 degrees. And now remember, okay, so each interior angle is equal to, I'm just writing in short form, is what? 336 degrees. Now, but the total exterior angle of any regular polygon. So total is always 360. So total exterior, this is exterior, I made a mistake here. Total exterior, right, is 260 degrees. So this is, just a moment, this is exterior, not interior. So this is exterior. So exterior. So we solve for this here. The exterior is 36, but then the total exterior is what? Is 360. So if we divide the total 360 divided by 36, right? This gives us 10. We don't need to calculate for that. So that is 10 degrees. So let's check. Divided by 36 is what? 10. So 10. Okay, sorry, 10 sides. This is for the sides, not degree. I know I'm taking time to explain every one of these. Okay, so this is for the sides, not the degree. Yeah. So this is 10 sides. Okay. So now we solved and we figured out that we have 10 sides. So how many sides does the polygon have? This is 10 sides. So for the sides, so let me just put it down here. So sides, to find the number of sides, just simply say total over each. Total angle of the for the exterior divided by each of the exterior will give you the side. So, and that is it, we got 10. Now, what is the name of this polygon? This is a decagon, and we talked about this in the previous lesson. So if you want to know types of polygon, check out for the previous lesson. And we are done with this question. I believe this was clear. I want you to take your time and go through this again. I think this is a little bit complex, especially if you've not gone to the last lesson. But then it's something you can do. The next question says, what is the size of each exterior angle of a regular polygon of each side? Okay, this is more like the first question we solved, but a little bit tricky right now. So let's go ahead and solve. Okay, what is the size of each exterior angle of a regular polygon of each sides? Okay, now they've given us the sides here now, the number of sides, and they are asking for each of the exterior angle. Okay, it did not give us an idea of the size of the interior angles. So that simply means we have to employ the, formula for interior angles. So the sum of interior angles of a regular polygon says n minus 2 brackets 180 degrees, right? Where n is the number of sides, and for the number of sides we'll have 8. So 8 minus 2 brackets 180. So let's do that. 8 minus 2 is 6. 6 brackets 180. So we'll have to multiply. 6 multiplied by 180. 1080. 1080. So 1080 degrees. From here, this is the total angle for the interior, right? So interior. So total interior, let me just put it like total interior angle. So I don't want to write in full. So it's 1080. So for each becomes, for us to find each, you have to divide this. So 1080 divided by 6, divided by 8. They said 8. So divided by 8 comes, divided by 8, 135. So we have 135 degree for the interior angle. But you know that from this, let's continue from here. That's interior angle plus exterior angle is equal to 180 degrees. I want you to take note of this. And now we say that each interior angle is 135 plus each exterior angle is what? Let's call it x or any value, or let's just call it e. We don't know what it is yet. So 180 degrees. So we have to subtract 135 from both sides, or just collect like them. So e is equal to 180 minus 135, and e is equal to 180 minus 135, 45 degrees. So what is the size of each exterior? So this is the exterior, remember, angle of a regular polygon of each side. So what did we do? This question was a kind of tricky one, but what we did was that we had to solve for the total angle of the interior, then solve for each side. Then we came back here and was able to figure out what we are asked to solve for. I hope that makes sense to you. Okay, so, and finally, just one more question, we are done. If the angles of a polygon are this, and this, what is the value of y? The angles here, they were not specified if they are interior or exterior, and this can be confusing at times. But here, whenever you have such kind of question, it's talking about the interior angles. And we have how many angles here? 1, 2, 3, and 4. This simply means they have this polygon has 4 sides as well. So the sum of interior angles of a regular polygon says n minus 2 brackets 180 degrees, right? So we have 4, right? So 4 minus 2 brackets 180 degrees is equal to, so this is the sum, the total angle. So we have 3y. Okay, let me take let me get rid of the degrees after I can put it. So 20 plus y plus 40 plus y and then plus 60. So here we have 2 multiplied by 180 is equal to, so 3y plus 1y is 4y, plus another y will have 5y. So 5y plus 20 plus 40 is 60, plus 60 is 120. So 120. 2 times 180 is 360. So 360 is equal to 5y plus 120. So at this point, we are meant to solve for value of y, right? So we have to make y stand alone. So let's subtract 120 from both sides. So we'll have 260 minus 120. That is same thing as collecting like terms, 5y plus 120 minus 120. So 120, 120 cancels out here. So we are left with this. So 360 minus 120 is going to give us 240, right? So 240 is equal to 5y. So let's do that together. 360 minus 120, and then we divide 360 minus 120, 240 divided by 5, is equal to 48 degrees. And we're done. So we solve for y. Therefore, the value of y is 48 degrees. And we are not asked to solve for any value of each of the interior angles or exterior angles or whatever. If not, we would have plugged back this y into this and then solve for the value of these other angles and maybe have a sketch or anything, but this is where we are asked to stop. So it's just very simple. Connecting between interior angles and exterior angles of a regular polygon is easy, but then you have to have a clear understanding of of how to handle interior angles separately first, and then you come to exterior angles. So this is why, like, I've been emphasizing that you see the previous lesson for you to get the big picture. And having said that, thank you so much for joining us again, and look out for the next lesson. We're talking about proportion in the next lesson.